All right, welcome to both mics. I am going to try like hell to get my buddy in here, Mike. The other Mike, Mike Taylor here, as soon as he can get here somehow, some way. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we're trying to figure it out. He says he's sending me something. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, hopefully we'll both be on here, because I know you don't want just me. I know that's not what you want, right? Oh, come on. You know you do. You know you do. Hey, while I have this minute here, let's talk about fantasy football. It is fantasy football season. I do have a site. My alternate ego is the Hall of Famer, the Fantasy Hall of Famer. I have a website that's called Hall of Fame Fantasy Football. You can also get there by using the words winning fantasy football. Hey, if you want to win your league, if you want a guarantee to go with that, go check out the site. I got some free stuff. I got some premium stuff. I got some stuff everybody can afford. So without a doubt, please check me out at HallOfFameFantasyFootball.com. And I would love to have you this year. 94% of my customers made the playoffs in their league last year. So that's huge. I born search football.com or Hall of Fame Fantasyfootball.com. And there's my buddy Mike. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing well, Mike. How are you doing, Mike? Where am I looking?
Jesus.
Am I looking over? I'm looking over here. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
All right. Yeah, you like the sunny, dreary Florida thing I got going on back here?
It's beautiful. The Sunshine State, right?
Yeah. Hey, is that the new plate behind you, or is that a copy of the old plate?
That is actually the old plate, which is autographed right there by the one and only Vince Neil.
Ah.
The new plate came in yesterday, and there's no space between the Motley and the two. But
so is that a problem?
I like the way this one looks better.
It doesn't look like it's Motley's.
Right. I'll just take this one and put it on my card. What's the difference?
All right. Well, this is a stripped down, raw version of both mics, and that's how I'm going to market this. Stripped down and raw.
Both mics in the raw.
Yes, there you go. We usually are live without a net.
Screen.
Yeah, nothing. And you know what? Fuck it. Let's throw out an F-bomb. Let's just get that fucking out of the way right fucking now. You know what I mean?
F-bomb? There's no cursing on both mics. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. I do have a fun-packed show for us this evening here.
Ooh.
I do have some things planned.
I can actually work my computer now, and I can like look at the itinerary. So what's up? What's first?
Well, one of the first things I want to talk about is this thing about the student loan shit. You're up on this?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I know like the particulars. You know, some people are getting 10,000. I think some people get 20,000. If you have less than 10,000, it's being totally forgiven. You know, I don't know. I'm totally on the fence about it. You know, I can see some of the benefit of it, but you know,
well, it doesn't cancel any debt. It transfers it. It's a transformation of debt to the people who either did the right thing and paid their shit, saved their money, and instead of buying boats and vacations, sent their kid to school, or people who, you know, you basically got plumbers and contractors paying out of their taxes, the average of $2,100 a person, an American taxpayer this year, to pay for these student loans.
Yeah,
I don't understand. You know what? If I would have known somebody was going to pay my shit, maybe I would have done something different.
Right. Well, is it coming from taxpayer money, or is it being forgiven by the bank or the institution that did the...
Not being forgiven, and there's no such thing as forgiven, because they always make the money back. It's like no such thing as free. There's no free nothing.
So who is paying these banks? Is someone writing a check to these banks?
The federal government. The federal government. And you know what? You know what colleges are going to do this year? The same thing that car manufacturers did. Now, they just came out with this thing about the $8,500 rebate for electric vehicles from the U.S. government. The caveat is that your vehicle must have a battery that is made from somewhere in the United States. And that's all great, and I think that's wonderful, but we just gave the Chinese all the lithium, and they make all the batteries and all the solar shit. So that means your shit's going to be coming from China. Oh, and by the way, the manufacturers know about this $8,500, so they're going to try to scoop it from behind the scenes. That's called scooping a rebate when the customer doesn't even get it. They make you sign a waiver without you even knowing it, and they raise the price of the vehicle by $8,500. Every electric vehicle is going up by at least $8,000. You know why? Because the government's going to pay it, and you're not going to feel it, and they're going to make $8,000 more.
Right. Exactly.
Sad.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm not for this. I mean, my kid will have some student loan, I'm sure, forgiven, and I'm not for it. You took out that money, you should pay it. It's your obligation. You said you were going to pay it. What's changed between then and now? Because somebody else said they were going to pay it for you. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Doesn't work.
Well,
so I'll tell you what. Give me $5,000 and I'll shut up. How about that?
Yeah.
But who's going to pay that? I'm going to pay that anyway.
Make my mortgage payment for 6 months.
There you go. I'm in agreement. How many doctors and lawyers are there that are going to get benefited by this because they have a lot of student debt? How many people that just paid off their student loans are cringing right now?
Right. I just made my last payment. Yeah.
Can I get some money back? Nope. Yeah. If you received a Pell Grant, you also get money back as well. So it could be up to $20,000 per person. The relief will be limited to borrowers who make less than $125,000 a year, or married couples or heads of household earning less than $250,000 per year. I got news for you. First couple years as a doctor, you're not making that much money, so they're all going to qualify. So you're going to have plumbers and electricians and carpenters paying for doctors' educations, or paying for somebody else to have gender studies degree. What the fuck are you going to do with that? And I got to pay for that now? So what? You took 8 years of French. Go to fucking France. You know? I'm an English lit major. How's that treating you? You got a job? No. Okay, well, what are we doing, folks? What are we doing? Poor choices on your part should not constitute an emergency on mine. This episode brought to you by Get Off My Lawn segment of...
Yeah.
You hear the thunder? Can you hear the thunder here, dude?
No, dude, I can't.
Yeah, there's thunder rolling in.
We had rain earlier. We had really bad rain yesterday. But yeah, I put a picture on my Facebook. I took a picture out the front door, and it's raining like cats and dogs, and all you see is blue sky.
Yeah, well, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's nice out. It's temperate out. It's not as muggy. It's not, it's got a little bit of a cooling off since usually, because it's been raining for a little bit, but it's getting later in the day, so that steam bath doesn't really happen. If this was 3 o'clock, there'd be a steam bath out here.
Right. All of our windows in our house have like just condensation where you can't see through them. Every window in the house, it's like I'm sitting in an ice box in comparison to outside.
So do you tell the kids that's like a flavored water and they should go lick it?
No, because they're filthy windows. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you haven't taken them up north to play the yellow snow trick with them yet?
Hey, put your tongue on this pole, kid.
Tastes like lemon.
Right?
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I can't live with this student debt shit. I can't. No.
Unfortunately, you got no choice, bro. But
well, there is a choice. I don't think that the proper, all names withstanding, no matter who it is, I don't think that position and that same person has said so in a past debate, as well as the Speaker of the House has made comment of that, and other lawmakers, even a year ago on videotape, you can find it, it's out there, saying that the president doesn't have that authorization to be able to, with a stroke of a pen, forgive student debt. So he doesn't have the power to do that. So it's going to get tied up in courts and all this shit. But it's buying votes is what it's doing. We're coming up to the midterms, and it's what we got to do. We got to rally the troops here. Hey, if there was ever, I know I just made the Get Off My Lawn reference, but if there was ever a Get Off My Lawn, it would be this lady here that I'm going to talk about. And I'll try to put up her picture. This is according to the AP, okay? In Plano, Texas, a woman was arrested and faces possible hate crime charge after she was captured on video in a racist rant and assault on women of South Asian descent in a suburban Dallas parking lot. And another
Okay.
disturbing example of anti-Asian violence seen across the U.S. Apparently, something happened. This lady's 58 years old, and you look at her mugshot, and you're like, no, she didn't do it, right? But this woman just started screaming and yelling and coming at these people who were of Asian descent, and they're throwing out racial slurs and use a combative attitude.
Yeah.
I don't know. The people at the store called in the parking lot they were in called the cops. They were like, "Hey, something's going on. We think this is a hate crime going up." So this
Well,
happened shortly after 8 p.m. Wednesday. It's a hate crime. Yeah.
So it was
Widely
a rant and assault on women of South Asia.
Yeah.
Okay, why can't you just say Vietnam and they were at the freaking nail salon?
In Texas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you pretty nail. Oh, you like pretty color.
Yeah, you want palm tree? You want palm tree?
We are going down. We're going to get blocked.
Plano, Texas.
Yes.
Corporate headquarters of Frito-Lay. In case anybody gives a shit.
There you go. This goes on to say anti-Asian violence has seen sharply rising in recent years. Last year, 6 women of Asian descent were among the 8 killed in a shooting at a massage business. Of all places, the fucking Asian women.
That's a hell of a happy ending.
Yeah, that was around Atlanta, heightening anger and fear amongst Asian Americans. I just got one thing to say. Okay, I love Asian American people. I like all American people. We shouldn't have to say Black American, Asian American, White American.
Right.
We're not fucking cheeses. Okay, we're fucking people. If we were cheeses, I could see that, but no, we're people. So it shouldn't have to have what my color of my skin or who I'm associating with as a race in front of the word American. Either you're an American or you're not.
Okay.
As the thunder comes in behind us. Big dramatic thunder as I end my statement. So, I really think the Asian thing is blown overboard. I mean, I got 2 of them working here right now. Yeah. Chang. Yeah. No, I don't give a shit if it's raining. You're going to finish that fucking yard. Tell me. Anyway. The other one's down here.
Are you outside?
Kung Lee is my footstool. That's how I'm resting my feet right now.
How
Kung
low?
Lee is in a 4-point stance, and my legs are stretched out on her lower back.
Nice.
And I'm enjoying a nice footrest here. And by the way, we are eating Chinese food tonight too.
Nice. The number 17.
Yes.
Are you outside? Because it looks like you're outside.
I said I'm outside.
Really?
Beautiful.
The thing is, I can't hear like the thunder or anything. No birds, no wind, no breeze. Just you. It's kind of weird.
Oh, dude, I'm outside. There's the pool right there.
Wow.
Yeah, well, hey, the Both Mike Studios spares no expense. We get a pool. We need to relax and stuff. So Elon Musk is surprising some of his internet customers, his Starlink thing, are lowering the price of their monthly plans. Not even telling people, just doing a price drop.
It's a BOGO sale.
I guess Starlink users in Europe and in some U.S. areas have reportedly been notified of a price drop. SpaceX said in an email to a customer, the new prices are meant to reflect parity in purchasing power across our customers. Elon Musk is hosting an event with T-Mobile on Thursday regarding efforts to increase connectivity. I find it interesting he's meeting with T-Mobile.
Right.
That's new. I hadn't heard that.
Of all the companies, he picks that one.
Yeah, right? So yeah, don't get me started there. Crazy, dude. Anyway, he says Starlink has a user base of over 400,000 subscribers worldwide. The company has a network of more than 2,500 satellites in lower orbit. The service is designed to deliver high-speed internet of up to 100 megabytes per second to 200 megabytes per second to customers in rural areas and higher latitudes. So I'm still thinking about trying to get this, dude. There's still a waiting list a year. And I'm trying that back doorway. I told you I think I'm going to be able to do it, but I had to put that on hold because it's football season. I got enough shit going on.
Right. And to be out there in Facebook land, know a hookup for the Starlink, give both Mikes a call.
Yeah, it's called Elon Musk. That's the hookup. Musk, if you're out there, if you're watching this, listen to this stripped down raw version of both mics, please, hey, throw me a little love. Send me one of them little Starlink kits, man. I'll pimp it out for you. Hey, you know what we'll do? That'd be great. I could finally televise my strip club because I've always wanted, I think I told you this, I always wanted to start a strip club, but I wanted it to be unique and different. And the internet would be perfect for this.
Okay.
And I could use some Starlink because I'm sure nobody would want to host this. It's a live strip club. It's not a girl in a box that you're paying money to and making comments and giving her stuff to do stuff or whatever. It's not that. It's a strip club. It's a strip club atmosphere, okay? It's called the third trimester, and it's all big-bellied women in the third stage of pregnancy there, that third trimester. So it's just big-bellied women, third trimester. It's a niche. It's unique. I have a lot of turnover. I have to go through a lot of girls, though.
Yeah, every month or so. You
Yeah.
can have like a running pool of which one's going to drop a baby.
But the
first.
great news is this is a work-from-home environment. This is the thing. They can do it right from their home in front of their laptop. You can show them struggling to get up with the belly, holding the rein off some little midget,
Yeah. I thought you quit drinking.
No. I quit drinking. It has nothing to do with drinking.
I don't know about that.
Oh, well, of course they're gonna serve alcohol at the third trimester. It's gonna be great.
Nice. Yeah.
2-drink minimum.
Unreal.
And see, I'm gonna save because the women aren't gonna be drinking the champagne and all that shit. They can buy the guy can buy the woman a bottle of champagne for like $125 and it'll be like apple juice or something. I'll be pocketing money.
Yep.
How much can we sell a membership to that for online? Like unlimited viewing online monthly?
Well, I don't know. Netflix is $9.99 to $19.99, and you get the whole world. So it's gotta be less than that, I guess.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. I've never wanted to go back to New Jersey, but now I want to go back to New Jersey. This is according to FoxNews.com, so it must be true. Six Flags roller coaster incident. Multiple people injured on the El Toro ride in New Jersey.
Correct. Yeah.
Have you been on this ride?
First of all, and you've been there, right?
It was so many years ago they didn't have half the shit, and it was called Great Adventure, not Six Flags Great Adventure, I think at the time.
It's still called Great Adventure. It's like Giant Stadium and Shea Stadium. It's exactly what it is. It's Great Adventure. It'll always be Great Adventure. No one will ever call it Six Flags or Six Flags Great Adventure. We went there in, I think, 2016 when we were up there. We did a tour of Jersey. We did Wildwood. We did, of course, my sister's house and friends and whatnot in the area. My niece, who's now 22, 21, something like that. 22. She had her Sweet 16 party, and we went up there. So it was 6 years ago, 2016. And we rode all the roller coasters at Great Adventure. We actually rode the El Toro. It was a fast roller coaster. It was a wooden roller coaster. It was a very fast roller coaster for being a wooden one. And we actually heard about it on the news. Brenda's like, hey, this is when something happened in Jersey. So, yeah, El Toro, we rode it. It was a long line. That much I remember in the heat of the summer in New Jersey. But good roller coaster. And I don't know exactly what happened. Does it say what happened, that 12 people were injured?
Well, first off, they say this roller coaster is one of the top wooden roller coasters in the United States. 76 angle drop, maximum speed of 70 miles per hour at a height of 181 meters. There must be some friggin' Canadian wrote this, giving it to me in meters here. How's it going, eh? El Toro has the second largest drop height of a wooden roller coaster in the country at 176 feet behind Six Flags America's Goliath. Just says they were treated for bumps and bruises, one for major back, injury, and a lot of people refused medical attention. They closed down the ride after it had partially derailed, and it's
Wow.
closed down right now. There's also another link, an alternate link in the story. New Jersey amusement park train strikes and kills a 2-year-old. Am I reading this right? Injures a 2-year-old. Yeah, well, then I take the link and it sends me on an endless loop here, so I'm out.
Right.
Screw your box, I'm out.
Yeah. There's another link that says Six Flags Great America shooting injures 3 in parking lot of Illinois amusement park. Yeah. So didn't we talk about Six Flags last time? That is a daycare.
Yes, for teens. Yes. I think what we should do is give them all I think what you should do is kind of like what they're doing with these immigrants that they're busting in New York. Give them all a cell phone, but make sure it's like a wrist ankle, like a thing on your ankle, like an ankle one. It's not a real cell phone. It's like they give to prisoners an ankle monitor thing. Okay, and you can shock them on the ankle when it's time for them to go. So they like a dog collar, so they go right to the front gate.
Nice.
And you can give them all some sort of drug on the way in, drug of their choice, so they're mellow.
Yeah,
I like it. Or tell them to take the bus even. Speaking
of dog collars and GPS and things, we purchased some air tags.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We have yet to take them out of the box, so I have yet to know how they work or what they do. But we purchased some air tags just to get.
So are you going to do like people have done, where you hide them on stuff or whatever, and this way, if your shit's ever lost?
But yeah, well, that's what they're for, right? I'm not going to stick them in people and follow them around. Put them like.
Hey, I didn't say that. You did. You said that.
Even though people have known to have done that, I would. They're basically for suitcases and things that we want to keep track of. At this point, we got a thing of 4. Typically, they're $99. We got them at Costco for $89. So, I'll report on them later. How they?
Please, I'd like to get some footage, some photos, some video. I'll try to put that together sometime, some way. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll rent some studio time at the other both Mike's compound.
Nice.
Anyway, here I'm reading this thing, dude. It makes me want to go ride this roller coaster. It's like that other place that used to be in Jersey, the Death Park. Yeah. I want to believe that I could really be hurt on this ride. Don't just flirt with me. It's documented.
What's the allure? Why is it so cool? Yeah, Action Park in Vernon Valley, New Jersey, over by where the Playboy Mansion, not Playboy, the Playboy Hotel, Great Gorge Valley, something, and it was affectionately called Traction Park. The county supplied them with ambulances because they didn't have enough ambulances in their regular barn to facilitate the injuries that came from there. So yeah, they made them buy.
I think if you have a park like that now, I think you could stay open for a couple hours or two once. Think about it. You pay one price, you can drink as much, you can do whatever drug you want to while you're in there, and you can go have at it. Go nuts, people. Have like a giant Plinko board that people could go down, ping, 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 hit everything on the down, and then other people could bet where that guy's gonna land. I mean, I'm talking turn it up a notch.
Well, as long as he wears a helmet, he should be fine.
Yeah, get Johnny Knoxville involved. Have him come design some rides. Right. On the way, you could have like a special fireworks one where they stick a bottle rocket up your ass and shoot you across the yard.
Right.
I've given this some thought. All right, so NASA is sending up a rocket to the moon on Monday. They're sending Starlink is sending something up on Sunday, I think. But
wow.
The return to the moon, 50 years since NASA's final Apollo mission. Did we really go to the moon 50 years ago? Let's just clear that up first.
Yes.
Okay, so not that I don't believe it, but I have been to where they filmed the moon landing in New Mexico. There was some done on a soundstage, and Stanley Kubrick, there's recent video showing him admitting that he filmed the moon landing. And I think we talked about in the past where he got the fancy camera from NASA. There was only two made, and he got basically both of them, one for NASA and one for his movie 2001 Space Odyssey. So I think the moon landing was kind of the warm-up to the movie for him. But just put it in the grand scheme of things. A device that has less memory and power than the cell phone that you carry daily took dudes off our planet, away from our gravitational pull, up to an orbiting object that regulates our tides, landed, and then brought them back while in constant communication 50 years ago, dude. I can't even get a fucking pizza delivered on time. They can't make orange juice that tastes good with mouthwash or toothpaste. We got a long way to go. How the fuck did we go to the moon 50 years ago? We didn't. We didn't. We're trying to go back to the moon now. What say you, Mike?
Yeah. Never a dull moment with you, Michael.
This mission, named Artemis 1, will be a 238,000-mile test flight for a new Orion spacecraft and Space Launch System rocket. After orbiting the Earth and harnessing its gravitational pull, Orion will travel at speeds of over 9,000 feet per second, and the stage for astronauts to venture farther beyond the Earth than previously attempted. 9,000 feet per second. How fast is that? Dude, you look all frozen shit. You are all frozen shit. What are you doing? I guess you're gone. Oh well. It says your connection failed. That's all right. I'll continue, man. I don't mind going solo for a bit if I have to. Hopefully you're going to get back in here. This guy goes on to say, yeah, it's great to return to the moon. $93 billion is what this is going to cost by the end of 2025. The Artemis program hopes to return astronauts to the surface of the moon by 2026 and establish a sustainable human presence there by the end of the decade. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it could happen? What do you think? Go ahead and leave it in the comments here. Go ahead and send us a note on the Facebook page or on the YouTube channel or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Go ahead and leave us a message. If you think we've been to the moon, and do you think we're really going back to the moon? I find both of those things hard to believe. I find it interesting because the moon could be a jump-off point, could be like a lily pad for us onto other places once we leave Earth's orbit. A lot of times, that's where a lot of the power is needed from these rockets and from this effort to get out of our own gravitational force. It takes a lot of power, it takes a lot of energy to do that. And, I know I'm going to get mail on this, but, you started bringing women astronauts and they're packing a little heavier. They got 2 bags instead of the 1. So, you got to be careful. And I don't know how that bathroom thing works in the astronaut suit when you're wearing those T-back or thong underwear either. I don't know if you still have the same success with those, retaining the moisture and whatever else you got going on in your spacesuit. I mean, because let's face it, you can't just drop one and stick it out the window while you're flying in space. You can't do that. It's not a city bus. You can't hang your ass out the window. Anyway, that brings me to a dad joke. If you really want to hear the dad joke. All right, dad joke. Lady on a bus. She has a headache. So she asked the lady next to her, hey, do you have any aspirins? My head's really hurting. She says, yeah, and she handed her some aspirins. And she's got the aspirins in her hand, and just as she's about to take them, the bus driver hits a bump, and the aspirins fly out the window of the bus. So she sticks her head out the window, and she says, my aspirins, my aspirins. And the driver looks up in the mirror and says, lady, if your aspirins, stick it out the window. All right. Still flying solo here, trying to get Mike back. I don't know what happened to Mike. Looks like he's there on the live feed, but I don't see him. So screw it. We're going to keep going here. I like it. Well, I don't like it, but, it is what it is. Hey, the show must go on. I learned that from a lot of people. Hey, look at the band Cheap Trick recently. They've been without Rick Nielsen for a while. He's like a capital player in that group. He's the reason why people go to see them. Injured his ankle played through the rest of the show sitting down, a la some other famous, a dude from the Foo Fighters there has done that as well. So I'm looking ahead here. I'm looking at the next things to talk about here. And one of the things that I found interesting was on WFTV.com, they said it's really too hot. Ocoee High students say classrooms went without AC for days. Now, again, I don't mean to sound like one of those get off my lawn guys here, but how do you think the pioneers fucking did it back in the day? Do you think they were like, hey, we got air conditioning in our school? You think that's what they did? No, they didn't have no fucking air conditioning. Air conditioning. Hear about it. Mike, you're there. You're back.
Hey, what is happening? Hey, is this the Both Mike Studios?
Yes. Yes.
I
don't know.
I don't know what happened. Things just kind of skipped out. So.
All right. Well, I was still live here. At least I thought I was. So.
Yeah, you were.
So listen, I went on to this next story here, right? I went on about first off, going back, I left it at, leave us comments about the moon. You think we're really going back to the moon? You think we've really been to the moon? All that shit.
Yeah, the whole, was it 9,000 feet a second?
Yes.
I was trying to do the math, right? 9,000 feet is roughly 2 miles, right? So that's 2 miles a second. So 60 seconds. So 69 is 54. Add 3 is 54,000 feet a minute. Wait, no, okay. 2 miles in a second. So 120 miles in a minute. So 120 miles in a minute.
Times 60.
Times 60. So that's 72,000 miles an hour? Or is that 7,200 miles an hour?
72,000.
Right? 60.
I'm doing it in my head. I don't know.
60.
What do I know?
120. 7,200. 7,200. 20.
It sounded better with 72,000, oh Mike.
Right, dude. Can you imagine 72,000 miles an hour?
So it's faster than the speed of sound, not quite the speed of light, of course.
And actually, 7,200 miles an hour is actually slower than what the space shuttle was doing. The space shuttle was doing like 10 grand around the Earth. So 7,200 miles, and that's 250,000 miles to the moon. Yeah, I don't have a calculator. So,
we had back in the car business, we had a car in the showroom that had like 750,000 miles. So we had to relate that to people. That would be like, go to the moon, come back, and then go to the moon again. That's how many miles you put on.
And then another 50,000 miles. Was that little old school Honda that was in the showroom?
Yeah. And then I have one I've handed down in my family that's got over 300,000 miles on it too. So it's on its way. They're trying to kill it. They can't kill it.
Right. We sold our pickup truck and it had like 250,000 miles on it, and it looked brand new except for one dent from a garbage can. Everything else was perfect. No ripped in the upholstery, nothing like that. No cigarette burns, nothing. Just a little ratted up in the bed with the bed liner, with a spray-in bed liner.
I'm glad you qualified that with the term liner, bed liner after that. You're right. Anyway, I won't go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, these Ocoee High School students, Ocoee, Florida, outside Orlando, toward Claremont there, basically, right?
Yeah.
According to WFTV.com, they're complaining it's really too hot because the classrooms went without AC for a couple days.
Pobrecito.
No, who? I can remember going to school in Florida with no fucking air conditioning ever. It's just, you know what? We didn't fucking have it. You wanted it, you cranked open the window. It's the window like with the, you crank it and the window opens. Yeah.
Yep. Same thing in Jersey. No air conditioning. The offices had air conditioning, but the classrooms didn't. They had heat, of course. You can't freaking torture people. But yeah.
But I will confess, I do like air conditioning. It's nice. But think about the pioneer people. Think about the people who had to, live, grow shit, hunt shit, You know, find
Nope.
shelter. Didn't have one. You couldn't like take a break from this world and go in AC for a little while. That's not how that shit works. I mean, you were fucking brutally hot all the time, man. If you went inside somewhere, it was like a fucking sauna, I'm sure too.
Right.
You're inside, it's like stale and stagnant and humid, and somebody rips ass in the building, and it's just hanging there on the wetness.
That's why all these houses had porches. They had porches and you had rocking chairs and swings and stuff because it was cooler to be outside than it was to be inside the house. The
Yeah,
house
well,
I grew up in,
go
the
ahead.
house I grew up in, my grandfather built, did not have central air. It was built in 1951. They had one air conditioner in the window in the living room, and that would run, and it would cover the living room and the kitchen. All the bedrooms, no air conditioner. You got a fan if you were lucky, and you blew it on you, and that's what kept you cold or cool. You know, you open the window, cars and people running around outside trying to sleep. Yeah.
God, we're
People don't
fucking-
realize how good they got it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think some people need a situation like this. I think they should turn the air conditioning off every once in a while. And you know what? Great news, folks. Because of the Green New Deal and those things that are happening, our power grid isn't strong enough to handle what we got already. And by the way, the power grid is powered by coal. That's right. So when the grid goes down and everything gets shut off because you've mandated electric cars for everyone, and we can't handle the grid can't handle what we have already. This is going to happen in schools, kids. You're going to go days. Sorry, no air conditioning today. Well, why not? The sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing, so our solar and wind won't work. So no air conditioning for you, kid. Get ready, kids. This is coming. They're not telling you about this in school. Your kids like air conditioning?
I would assume so.
Well, I mean, you haven't put them in
We
conditions.
haven't had that discussion yet.
You haven't tied them up by the tree in the yard and seen how long they can stay outside in the hot sun?
No.
No, okay. Just ask. I don't know. It's been a while since I had young kids. I didn't know.
You didn't know that's not the protocol anymore? Yeah.
No. Yeah, but
Yeah.
think about it. You had a car that had no air conditioning at one time, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably the first 10 years of me driving, let's see, I got my license in 83. The first car I bought with air conditioning was 1990. So I went 7 years driving cars with the windows down. My first couple of cars had no heat and no air conditioning.
Yeah, no heat's a bitch in Jersey, dude.
Yeah, the heater core, it's like a small radiator that's inside your dashboard. Those were leaking in the first couple of cars I got. And instead of replacing them, you just cut the tube and bypass it.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I had cars without heat and it sucked.
Anyway, these entitled kids over in Ocoee don't know how good they have it. So I'm
Yeah.
glad they got a couple of days. I'm glad their AC's fixed and back on and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm glad they had
Philly
that
High School, that's what, West Orange
yeah,
and in the lovely Pine Hills area. It
Pine
goes to that
Hills.
school thing. Yeah, and the gangster mall there at West Oaks.
So we talked about this a little bit before, and we've talked about it in the past. Ford reopens U.S. order banks for the 23 Mustang EV. That's the electric vehicle. And guess what they did?
What'd they do?
They raised the price by $8,000. How about that? Are you seeing how this is working, folks? See, I tell you the play, then they run the play. That's what happens, okay? I'm the guy that's calling the game. Hey, I bet you they throw a Hail Mary pass here. And he's back to pass. It's the Hail Mary. That's what I do. Now I'm showing you what you do. Anyway. Are you going to rush out and buy an E Mustang, Mike? A Mach
No.
E?
Nope. Yeah. They were. We thought we liked them, and Brenda more than me. And then we went to the restaurant Ford's Garage, and this particular Ford's Garage in St. Augustine is right next to the Ford dealership. It's actually in between the Ford dealership and the Lincoln dealership. And I pointed one out to Brenda. She goes, That's it right there? She goes, oh, no. I thought I liked it. But yeah, that, and I think one of Xander's classmates' parents have one too. And I almost want to ask him, hey, how do you like it? But yeah, I'm not.
Didn't Lee Iacocca have something to do with the Mustang?
Yeah, he did. In back in '64, he was actually one of the head guys
He's
for
rolling
Ford,
over in his grave right now, going, "You got to be fucking kidding me!"
right? He also brought the minivan to Ford, and Ford was like, "Eh, no thanks." And what, through the whole '80s, that was like the rage were minivans, '80s and '90s. And yeah, he brought it to Chrysler, and Chrysler made it instead. And he actually had the Voyager for Plymouth, and the Caravan for Dodge, and the Town and Country, which was the elite one for Chrysler. We had a Town and Country with the wood paneling. It was cool.
So these vehicles, these vehicles, GT extended range, when it'll start out the base MSRP is 69,895. Because everybody
Wow.
has 70 grand lying around. They just go out and buy an electric vehicle. You can get the extended range on top of that for another $8,600. You can get the Night Pony Appearance Package for another $800, or the GT Performance Package for another $6,000 on top of that. So you're spending 80 grand, and then, well, you're gonna have to pay taxes on that and tag, and depending on what state you are, an ad valorem tax could be $600-800 for the tag, easy, $1,000. Yeah, dude. Fucking crazy.
What is the with bank loans? How many months are they going up to now with vehicles?
186.
186.
No, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Like that's fucking 15 years.
30-year balloon payment. Yeah.
Interest only balloon payment. Nice.
Yeah, that was the thing back in the day. They had a thing with the Ford Motor Lease, the red carpet lease.
Yeah.
Nobody knew how much you paid for the fucking vehicle. You had to call the dealer, and the dealer didn't even know. They were like, "Yeah, it's locked up in the safe." Ha ha ha. You just paid,
Right.
and then when you came back, you got another one, and you signed and paid. You never knew how much you were spending. It was just the startups and the monthly payment, because that's all that really matters anyway for most people. How much do I need
Unfortunately.
down? How much is the monthly payment? We've conditioned ourselves.
Yep.
We've allowed it to happen. I know. I'm a former insider. I know. I was there.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't matter if it's 50 grand. If it's 600 a month, I might be able to do it.
the reverse mortgage deal rates are going up. They went up again today to the 9% area.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
What do they care? What do
We
they
haven't
care?
seen that since the 70s, dude.
Yeah, you don't have to make payments on a reverse mortgage. So what do they care? They're not shopping rate. They're not shopping payment. They're getting rid of their payment. So what do they care? Let my kids worry about it.
Buddy, yeah.
Mortgage insurance, $11,000 on a property. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's good for some people, but yeah,
Yeah,
just
not for me.
kiss your house goodbye, kiss your equity goodbye. If you were intending on giving any of it to your kids.
Well, that's the thing that, is really, in a year or so, we're going to really see the full impact when the housing market's, restabilized, if you would, and comes back down to some sort of sense of reality? Or do you think it's this artificially inflated thing because of the devaluation of currency is going to stay? Do you think your house is going to forever stay at this, or do you think it'll go down in a year?
I'm kind of thinking it's going to stay. We don't have the catalyst of the subprime market like we did last time around that crashed everything. I think it might go down a little bit.
Inflation.
What's that?
We just have raging inflation,
Yeah.
abnormally high fuel costs that affect the price of everything.
Yep. Thank God that's coming down a little bit.
Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yep.
After November, the gas will go right back up to $5. Watch. Right after the election. Watch. Mark it down, folks.
The thing is, watch every year. Every year around this time, gasoline goes down in price every year.
I
I've
don't know,
noticed.
dude, because what about years where there's hurricanes? We're in prime hurricane season. This has been a soft hurricane season, to say the
So
least.
far.
And
It's early.
hurricanes greatly affect the fuel.
Yeah. Yep. There
We've
was
had
times
hurricanes.
there was times in Texas, in San Antonio, we couldn't get gas because we got our gas through Houston. And when we had was it Harvey that came through in Houston, we couldn't get gas in San Antonio. 3 hours away. Why not? Well, all
It's
the
okay,
gas
you got a
companies.
windmill and shit out there, right? You had windmill and solar, right? Don't worry,
Yeah,
you're fine. Just plug in
that'll
your
get you through.
car to the electricity. You don't have to pay $5 a gallon. All you got to do is plug in your car. Okay, takes 6 hours to charge, 40 minutes to charge, whatever. Where does the electricity come from? Coal. I don't understand what is so hard to understand about this concept. Meanwhile, the world's largest consumer of coal and coal products is China. They're polluting the planet worse than we could ever wish to hope for. And we have to be the ones to step back and say, well, we're going to limit our use because we're 300 million people. There are a billion people, but we're 300 million, and we're gonna protect the planet by not burning this rock of coal here. But it's okay. Some days you'll just have no electricity. It's okay. Are you okay with that, Mike? No electricity?
I'm fine.
You're fine with no electricity.
We're good.
You're full of shit. Bullshit. All right, so I don't know. We're gonna see if this stripped down raw shit's working. I'm hoping that we got good quality video and audio outside the one time that you had to jump off. But I did bring up something. I labeled it for the episode 140, but it was impactful. It was I think it's a tweet or something, or some sort of blog post from somebody that has like 50 followers on something in their blog. I think their blog is called Confessions of My Broken Heart. It's somebody named Deborah Renee. This was posted on November 21st, 2021, and I accidentally came across this because I was Googling the words stripped down raw, because I didn't want it to be a porn name that's,
Right.
or something. Yeah.
Like penisland.com.
So she goes on to say, there's something to be said about being stripped down to your raw self, your most vulnerable and sensitive form. No cover-ups, no persona, no alter ego, no disguise, no disillusionment, no excuses, no makeup, no mask, just you in your skin with all your humanness. Who are you in this place? Are you at peace? Does this rawness scare you? Does it inspire you? Does it propel you to look in the mirror and better at who you are as a person? Does it force you to take a good look at who you are and decide if you like who you are? In these moments where I believe we really remember who you are, I found that being in this very raw state is where I grow the most as a person. I do well with being broken down because I always build myself back up better than I was before. It gives me a perspective I wouldn't have had if things always went my way or if things were perfect all the time. I don't know, dude. I like it. I like the idea. We have the show about nothing and everything, but the whole thing with the raw, stripped down, I don't know. Any thoughts? Anything? Nothing.
Living a simple, basic life. That's what I like to do. That's what I've done in the past. I've reinvented myself numerous times. And you've been privy to that. But yeah, living a basic life, like not complicating your life. People are out there, they're on like, I'm on 5 softball teams and a bowling league. And like, my wife goes to, she's in a book club. Like, how complicated do you need to make your life? Getting through the day, clocking out at 5 o'clock and your head not exploding sometimes is just a goal. And yeah. So I'm a firm believer of keep it simple.
All right, we'll see how this show ends up. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how we do with it. I'm limited as to what I can do. So I'm trying to spin this positive. I'm trying to make it so, hey, let's see if this works. Who knows? Maybe this shit'll work. Maybe it'll catch fire. I don't know. fuck, what do I know? This is the fucking world's worst podcast, as we usually say on the announcement. So, hey, we've lowered the expectation so far down that anything we do is seen as a positive. We don't come in going, hey, we're great, check us out. No, we come in going, we fucking suck. It can only go up from there.
And maybe we'll suck less next time.
Yes, see? We can grow. We can build on this. I like it.
Suck less. Hashtag suck less.
I like it. I like it. Well, of course, we're short of doing the alien update, and we're short of the get off my lawn thing, but I have an idea for that in our next show. I think there's a way we can do that and incorporate that. So you're watching 139, you're listening to 139. You can check us out in 140. We're doing these things back to back, so maybe you'll catch them both back to back. They'll be posted everywhere, anywhere you find stuff. Of course, that's where you can find us, wherever you get podcasts, wherever you get videos, wherever you get stuff. We're even on Spotify videos, so check us out there as well. So anybody you want to give a shout out to, Mike?
Mom's birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, Mom.
Wow, happy birthday, Mom. Very nice.
79.
Special? You going to send her a cake or whatever?
Yeah, flowers. Flowers were there today. 79 years old.
Wow, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I can't. I didn't know I'd live this fucking long, dude. I really didn't. You know,
I only like expected to live to like year 2000. It's the only thing I ever thought. I never thought about anything past 2000.
Well, all you thought about was watching the Jetsons and flying in your space car to your job and shit, right?
Yes. Now, did you know George Jetson's date of birth was like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was on one of our shows. That was his birthday.
Oh, did we talk about it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
you know, it's not a bad show, Mike. You ought to watch it sometime.
Yeah, my short-term memory, dude, gone. Blotto, zilch, bupkis, gone.
All right, well, just another reminder. Look, if you like fantasy football, if you're going to play this year, check out my site. You can get to it by winningfantasyfootball.com or halloffamefantasyfootball.com. I kind of know a thing or two about what's going on in the world of fantasy football. 94% of my customers made the playoffs in their league last year. You know, if you're new or maybe you want to take another look, a different approach, drafting has never been easier. I tell you who to pick, when to pick them. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what the draft is, who you're picking and when you pick them. So I give you the tools to do that for your entire draft. I can even partner with you. I can give you as much help or as little help as you need. It's up to you. There's free services. There's premium services as well. So check me out on the site, winningfantasyfootball.com or halloffamefantasyfootball.com. Check out my friends at the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. Dustin Levine and those guys doing a great job over there. Donate some money. Go catch a show. Take out some advertising with them. Check out my man Gino Losi, Ginolosi on the socials. He'll put you on the monster fish anywhere in Central Florida. And for all your printing needs, see my friend Night Fan Stan in Central Florida. All right, that was 139 from the Thunderdome. All right, we'll see you at 140 here in just a few minutes after 5, okay?
Cool.
See ya.